Everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad you could join us today. For those that have continued to be a part of this community, we appreciate you. We send you love from this platform. I'm so glad that you continue to like our videos, you continue to share them with your family, with your friends. And today I'm very excited to be hosting a very good friend of mine. She's actually one of my best friends. She bullied me in school, and somehow within the bullying, we became friends. And today she's going to be sharing with us her life or her journey as a woman in a field that for most of us we consider to be very male dominated. And she'll be sharing her experiences. She'll be telling us what it has been like, what has stood out for her, what has been her drive. And I hope that with her story, we're able to change the perspective that certain roles are very male, but also that you as a female, as a woman out there, that if you set your mind to do something, you can actually achieve it. So join me with a lot of enthusiasm to welcome my best friend, one of my best friends, Abdallah Saidah.
Thank you for having me, Maria.
I'm so glad that you could take off the time in your
I'm
very
excited
busy.
to be here. Yeah, I'm always busy.
In your very busy. Hey, you don't even deny. In your very busy schedule to come and share with us your story. So of course I've hinted a bit on the fact that you're in a male-dominated field, but if you could just shine more light so that people then get to understand what field we're speaking about.
Okay, I'm a telecom engineer by profession and a certified project manager, and I'm currently pursuing a master's in information systems. Yes.
Guys, I even feel like it's such a mouthful. Like, I don't know what I studied, but imagine she's a telecom engineer, and yeah, like let's just stop. I think telecom just tells us exactly the field that we are looking at. She's based in the tech world. For me, I think, you know, when we're writing our CVs and we say proficient in Microsoft Office, we feel like we've made it in this tech world, yeah? And yet there are people who actually go out there and make themselves a better person. Was tech a field that you thought, or growing up, you know how people say, oh, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer. Was it something that you aspired to, or that you knew that somewhere within your line, that's where you would fall?
Yeah, not exactly in engineering, but I knew I had to do something sciencey. I wasn't an arts person, and science was always it for me, but a less serious science because I found biology a little bit too much for me. So, and I needed to have a life outside school, outside work, so I settled for the less serious science. So I always knew I would do something in science. Yeah.
And telecom happened to be
the less serious engineering.
Yeah. Not the other, like
not
civil,
not
mechanical.
civil, not electrical. Yeah. So telecom was it for me.
Can you say that it's been easy? Like when you look back, maybe in school, what the concepts? You know, like we always look at sciences as the hard subjects, or anything science. People just think difficult. Can you say that for you the journey was smooth?
Yeah, the journey was smooth. It was just a mindset. And I had to tell myself that I needed to love what I do. And of course, with love, everything comes easy. Yeah.
Okay. So coming from campus, you transitioned into the job world. Was it smooth? Like, I know that for most of these male-dominated fields, women will often say they find it hard, either to get the jobs, like finding the opportunities, things like when you finally get the job, being able to integrate and be able to work within the system. What was your story like?
I started practicing IT in 2015 in the telecom sector. The telecom sector wasn't really welcoming for a lady. It was quite challenging. I think I was there for less than a year and I left. And for some reason, when you're a lady and you join the tech world, it always starts with a challenging roles. So in the telecom sector, I was a radio frequency and optimization engineer. And my role was to ensure that you're able to make calls, receive calls, and use the internet. So that would mean I had to climb masts. In the night. So I just told myself, okay, this might not be it for me. Yeah. And what made it harder in the telecom sector was there was less sharing of information, there was less teaching. So I had to digress and I went into the vehicle tracking business. In 2016, it was quite growing, and that is when I got the exposure and I got to appreciate the role I had to play as a woman in the so-called boys club. So at first, of course, it was a bit challenging. The hardest thing was getting your voice heard. And for a woman, you needed to go an extra mile. Like you needed to do more than what the rest were doing for them to appreciate what you bring to the table. At the moment, because we are quite a number of women in the tech world, the world is now a bit welcoming.
Oh, they've begun to embrace the fact
that we also have something to offer. Yeah, but I've come to appreciate that the males appreciate uniqueness. So as a woman in a tech world, you have to fight to get something unique about you and present it to them. They'll always be interested in knowing what new thing has this person brought on board. So if you're basic, then life is a bit hard. Yeah.
What would you say has been your biggest success?
Not giving up and accepting that this is where I belong and building a brand. I made sure I kept the love for what I was doing. I mastered it and I was able to communicate how I do my things. So the people who have worked with me are able to say that was done by Saidah, because I leave a mark on my work and on the people I work with. Yeah.
That your style then communicates and you've made sure that it resonates with even people who come way later.
Yes.
And for you that is a big achievement. Were there times that you felt like giving up? Maybe like I can imagine what or how much work it would take to have to get your voice heard, to have to get someone to see that you actually have the potential, or you're even better than probably very many of your colleagues. Like I can imagine what it is like to come every day and you're convincing people that, by the way, my idea is actually the best. I don't think, if I were the one, I don't think I would try 1, 2, 3 times and try again. I think I would draw back and say, you know what, let's just do it how you think. Like, were there times you felt like giving up? If you had those times, why didn't you give up? Or were there instances where you actually gave up? Why did you actually hold back?
So fortunately, I've never felt like giving up.
Nice.
In Form 6, I told myself after Form 6, I needed a direction in life because campus was a whole life out there, very different from what we were exposed to. So I told myself, I need to choose something and go for it regardless. Yeah, so I've never regretted. However much it has always been hard, and it is still hard, I still push on.
You know that there's nothing that comes easy.
Yes, I found my place in the tech world and I'm not yet ready to give it up. Yeah.
So I know that tech and, let's say, IT, for example, comes with a lot of being able to be flexible with your working hours. I can imagine if let's say a mast was down and we were calling this telecom company to complain about not being able to make calls, even if you were in China and it's your role, you would be flown back in to come and troubleshoot. How have you been able to balance both work, your personal life, but also ensure that your friends who want to be a part of your life are still like just a general work-life balance?
Okay, so let me first give you credit for using the word troubleshooting. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that you know the word troubleshooting. Look, I'm happy for you. Because that's basically the word that we use almost every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I I don't think life is balanced. It's not really balanced, however much we try to balance it as ladies. But it's been three things: prioritizing, know what's important and what's urgent, and then, as I said, communication. So once you love what you do, you master it. Have your way of doing things, communicate that, get the rest of the team to appreciate how you do your things. You'll be able to get time to yourself.
Yeah.
And then, of course, support. If your employer is really flexible, is very understanding, is very supportive. For example, currently, I'm a system supervisor with the Uganda Revenue Authority, and the institution is very flexible, much as we work over the weekends, we work on public holidays. 31st, the night of 31st, I always, fireworks always finds me in office. That is something I'm used to. But then we are able to work in shifts and you're able to be compensated for your extra hours. So the employer also plays a big role in trying to balance life.
Yeah.
And then, of course, a supportive partner who's able to... Okay, don't start. A supportive partner who is able to accommodate you your late nights. And of course, you 24/7, I'm always on my laptop.
You're on duty.
Yeah, I'm on duty. So, of course, URA is a collection institution. So, when systems go down, they have to call you. Whether you're sleeping, whether you're at a party.
Yeah.
So, my role as a systems supervisor, I have to be on my phone every time to check if everything is fine.
It's okay.
Yeah, so my phone is my laptop as well. Yeah, so that's the life I got used to, and I don't regret.
You don't regret.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you say you don't regret. I think that should be our principle in life, that whatever choices we make, we shouldn't live in regret, because otherwise, then what's the point then of living? For the girl out there, for the young girl out there who would like to probably venture into your field, or who is thinking of career choice and things like that, what's the one thing that you would say to them?
Okay. Before, science was something that was centralized to one person. So if you think of all the people who invented things, the scientists, they would lock themselves in a room, come up with an idea, then present it to the world, and then also struggle to make the world appreciate that. But of late, technology has evolved, and it involves everyone. So before, it felt like it was to specific people, but now it's to everyone. It's the very interesting thing about technology is the idea starts with a person I could call normal. It could be you, it could be me. I come up with an idea and I want that thing to work. So that means you've played a role indirectly. Much as we think engineers, doctors are the ones who do the real thing, but technology right now is involving everyone. So everyone has a role. So maybe that's why women, we also feel very comfortable that we have a role to play. Technology is now involving everyone, from the person who comes up with the idea to the person who appreciates your idea and creates maybe a business case about it, and then the engineers, the developers who are in the kitchen to cook and serve. But it all starts with you. That means it's now teamwork. It involves everyone. There's a place for everyone.
For everyone, you
It's
can
not-
find somewhere.
You can find somewhere to be. It's not for the chosen few. So that has really inspired me. I feel like the brand that I've built, I've managed to do consultancies in East Africa, in South Africa, in Europe, because I believe there's a role somewhere for me. It may not be clearly stated, but I believe I have a contribution to make. So technology is now embracing everyone. It's not for the chosen few. So a data analyst is also into science, much as data could not be looked at as if maybe technology. But there's a lot of evolution. There's a lot of stuff to learn. There's always something new to learn. It's always exciting. So there's a place for everyone in technology. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much, Saidah. Thank you so much for sharing your wealth of wisdom with us. Thank you for encouraging us that I can't say that I'm going to suddenly jump on board into this
It's
stake,
too
but
late for you.
the way you said that I have a role to play, I believe that somewhere, somehow, I have also contributed to take, and I'm a part of
Yes,
the
you have.
evolution and the system world over. Thank you so much for sparing your time
Thank you
to
for
share with us
having
your
me.
story. Thank you to everyone that has tuned in. Remember to like, to share, to subscribe, and remember that we are changing the world by sharing our stories, and that even with your story and my story, we can change the world one story at a time. And until next time, bye.